Greetings! Welcome to a video in which we are going to discuss how to write a thesis statement. This video is for students taught by Professor Wandia. If you're watching this video and you're being taught by a different lecturer, ensure that you consult with your lecturer before implementing what you see in this video. We have now come up with a dilemma we want to answer. We have brainstormed and thought about how to respond to that dilemma, and each group has picked on a dilemma to write about. In the next stage, each of our groups will have to convert the dilemma we picked into a thesis statement. So in this video, we will discuss the components of a thesis statement. We will provide an example of a thesis statement. We will discuss the sub-themes that are embedded in the sample thesis statement. We will discuss the sources that can be useful for writing the sub-themes of the thesis statement, and we will emphasize the importance of doing this work ourselves. The essay which we intend to write must take a clear position on the issue that we are discussing. That position is determined by 1. Our knowledge of the issue, and 2. What other people think about it. Before we start writing the thesis statement, we should have read enough materials about the issue we want to discuss. That is why in our groups, we need have assigned each member a theme to carry out research on and report to the group. By the time we are writing a thesis statement, we have learned enough about the issue, and we now want to take a leap of faith and give a tentative argument or answer to our dilemma. That answer is our thesis statement. Therefore, a thesis statement is not objective. It must take a position. Other people may disagree with our position, but we must also not be afraid of disagreement. The point of the essay is to provide evidence and arguments that make the readers of our essay understand how and why we arrived at the position we have taken. What is a thesis statement? It is a short statement, usually one sentence, that summarizes the main point or claim of an essay or research paper and is developed, supported, and explained in the text by means of examples and evidence. A thesis statement has these main parts. 1. A topic sentence. 2. An opinion. 3. Supporting details, preferably 3 supporting details. As a Kenyan, I am concerned about the numerous injuries of children by teachers and of the culture of fear in the education system. However, I also know that many Kenyans are convinced that corporal punishment instills discipline, which leads to better academic performance. My dilemma is this: do Kenyans not see these other traumatizing effects of corporal punishment? Therefore, an essay addressing this dilemma would want to convince the readers that 1. There are negative side effects of corporal punishment. 2. Those negative effects interfere with education. 3. Those negative effects are not short-term but are long-term. So this is my thesis statement. Corporal punishment should remain prohibited in Kenyan schools because it often results in physical injury of the children, it makes children become preoccupied with avoiding pain rather than with learning, and it perpetuates a traumatized society. This sentence has all the 3 required parts. It has a topic, which is corporal punishment. It has a position or an argument, which is that corporal punishment should remain prohibited in schools. Note that the opinion is specific to schools in Kenya. A thesis statement must be specific to a context, both historical, meaning a specific period in time, and geographical, meaning a specific place. The thesis statement also has supporting details. These details are physical injury of children, the replacement of learning with avoiding pain, and the perpetuation of a traumatized society. A thesis statement should be able to generate sub-themes. Our sample thesis statement indicates that we will need to discuss 1. The debates on corporal punishment. The words should remain suggest that corporal punishment is currently prohibited, but people are questioning if it should stay that way. 2. We will need to discuss the instances of physical injury of children from corporal punishment. And 3. We will need to discuss the distinction between avoiding pain and learning. 4. We will need to discuss what a traumatized society is and present evidence of what that is. Remember that our research should provide the information, opinions, and data which support the sub-themes of our essay. What are the possible sources which can give us the information, opinions, and data? In the introduction, we need to describe how the dilemma emerged. So we can talk about reading a newspaper report about a child who was hospitalized after being beaten by teachers and our surprise that Kenyans still support corporal punishment despite such a report. We have to cite the newspaper we saw and the debate that followed. We would follow that by talking about similar incidents of injury from corporal punishment so that we show the reader that this is not the first time such an incident of injury has occurred. We can use newspaper articles as sources of materials or other academic journals that have analyzed the same incidents. To discuss the debate on corporal punishment, we need to cite people who have voiced opinions both for and against corporal punishment. We can get newspaper reports or editorials citing the Cabinet Secretary of Education or the Kenya National Union of Teachers saying that corporal punishment should be returned, op-eds from leading professionals and thought leaders opposing corporal punishment, academic publications analyzing corporal punishment in Kenya, and evidence of divided public opinion from sources such as hashtag trends on social media or TV reports interviewing teachers and clergy. To discuss physical injury, we need data on how many children have reported injuries. We can get such data from hospitals, the Ministries of Health and Education, or from professional bodies like the Kenya Pediatric Association, or from reports from governmental bodies or NGOs. If we are still not able to find much data, we can search the newspapers for a certain period and say how many incidents were reported in the media over that period. If we still cannot find much data, we can discuss the difficulty of finding such data and suggest that the lack of data is evidence that we Kenyans are not taking the issue of corporal punishment seriously enough. To contrast avoiding pain versus learning, we can consult research by academics in educational psychology or pediatrics. To discuss a traumatized society, we can present research by experts in social trauma like Babu Ayendo and Franz Fanon. An essay on the thesis statement we have chosen should have at least one source from each of the sub-themes. I hope we notice that it requires creativity to come up with such a list of sub-theme sources, but we cannot be creative unless we are passionate about the project we are writing about. Therefore, please do not give this assignment to ChatGPT or pay an academic writer to do this work on your behalf. Learn how to do it yourself. In any case, ChatGPT will not be as creative as you have been here. AI, or artificial intelligence, does not create new knowledge. All it does is put together information from papers other people have written before. So why not learn the same skills yourselves? Finishing this work ourselves will give us confidence in voicing our opinions and in our own writing, and we will produce a paper we are proud of. Thank you for watching.